Hey there, welcome back to another video. So you're interested in purchasing the refreshed 2024 Elantra Hybrid, but aren't sure which trim level to go with. Well, today behind me, I have the Blue as well as the Hybrid Limited. And today we're gonna compare each of these two side by side, see what each one has to offer for the price point, and also compare it to the outgoing 2023 Hybrid, both in terms of pricing, features, as well as why I think one of these two trim levels behind me is a complete standout value across the entire Elantra's lineup. So when comparing the Elantra Hybrid to that of its gasoline counterparts, the blue trim behind me is essentially going to be the same as an SEL, where the Hybrid Limited is of course going to be matched up with the Gasoline Limited, but you do get ventilated front seats as well as memory driver's seat here in the Limited Hybrid that you don't find in the gasoline powered version. So as I mentioned in some of my other videos, the 2024 Elantra did receive a refresh which changed some of the exterior and interior styling, changed the packaging depending on which trim level you're looking at, but most interestingly changed the pricing across the board, some of which a little bit for the better, some of which for the worse, which we're going to discuss a little bit later in this video. Now, when it comes to the hybrid Elantras behind me, the Blue Hybrid now starts at $27,400 including destination, and the Limited Hybrid comes in at $30,600 again including destination. And before I get farther into this video, I want to go ahead and take a look at each of these two vehicles behind me, show you what each one has to offer in terms of features, packaging, the styling differences on the exterior, interior, etc. Then later in this video, I do want to cover the pricing when you compare it to the outgoing 2023 Elantra Hybrid and also compare it to the gasoline counterparts for each of these two respective trims behind me, because that's where I start to see the value proposition that one of these two cars behind me really has to offer across the entire Elantra lineup, where the other one certainly got a little bit worse in terms of value versus the outgoing 2023s. So take a look at the Elantras in front of me. On my left, I have the Blue Hybrid finished in the ultimate red exterior with the black cloth interior, and on my right, I have the Limited Hybrid finished in Amazon gray with the gray H-Tex on the inside. Now, no matter which trim level you do choose, you will have the option for a gray or black interior color option, depending on which exterior color you do get, of course. But this is just what I currently have available, but you can get a gray cloth and a black cloth, and similarly a black H-Tex and a gray H-Tex for each of these two models. Now take a look at the front end of each of these two. They're actually going to be very, very similar and much more similar than one would expect, considering the differences in not only the price point, but also the trim levels as well. So starting over here on the Blue Hybrid, this is going to have full LED headlights for the 2024 model year across the board. So you have your LED projector headlights, LED daytime running lights, and turn signals in that upper housing right there. Now this does not have the Horizon LED lamp that will be found on some of the other Hyundai models for the refresh or the all-new generation that connects essentially the two headlamps together. This one is just a chrome accented strip with the satin black front grille design. Now all Elantras will receive the satin flat Hyundai emblem, which makes it look a lot more premium in my opinion, and that is similar to other models currently available on the market. Now coming over here to the Limited Hybrid, this is going to have the identical headlamp setup like I mentioned with the LED projector headlights, running lights, and turn signals. You do get the radar sensor for the adaptive cruise and highway drive assist functionality. Now one interesting fact that I just learned before filming this clip is the fact that the Limited Hybrid does not get the 360 surround view camera system like that of the Gasoline Limited. So you will not find the front camera in the grille for that 360 surround view camera system, but you will have front and rear parking sensors. So that is just a small difference, like I said, that I found here in this clip. And then again, you do have the nicer satin chrome Hyundai emblem, which I think is very nice. Now coming over here to the mirror caps on the Blue Hybrid, you're gonna have paint matched, no LED turn signal integration, no cameras or puddle lights, and these mirrors are not gonna be heated, but it does have a blind spot detection as part of the feature set. And over here on the Limited Hybrid, you will get the body color, LED turn signal integration, no cameras like I mentioned because that's not found on this particular vehicle, but they are gonna be heated and it does have blind spot detection. Now coming over here to the wheel and tire setup, this is going to be also another big difference between each of these two. You're going to have the nicer 17-inch alloy wheels with the gunmetal gray and machine finish on the Limited. We're going to have the standard 16-inch alloy wheels found in the solely gunmetal finish, wrapped in two different size tires. Over here on the Limited, you're going to have a 225 45 17-inch, where over here you're going to have a 205 55 16-inch Kumo versus that of a Hankook. So I really do like the 17-inch over here on the Limited, but again, personal preference, maybe a little bit of a softer ride because you do have more sidewall on the Blue Hybrid. Now coming along the side of the exterior, you're going to have a little bit more standard black trim around the windows and some of the other switchgear here on the Blue. versus over here on the Limited. You can see immediately you have the nice satin chrome along the belt line there. You will get Hyundai Digital Key 2.0 on both of the front door handles, along with the standard proximity entry over there, versus that of the just standard proximity key fob here on the Blue Hybrid, indicated by that black button right here. So these are not touch sensitive door handles, but those are going to have the feature, the nicer Hyundai Digital Key feature, excuse me, over here on the Limited. Now coming out back, you're gonna have different lighting setups for the tail lamp assemblies as well. So you can get the LED plus bulb tail lamps, which essentially is the LED running light that spans across the entire width of the vehicle. Incandescent brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights, just like that of the pre-facelift version. You have your nice hybrid badge over there on the trunk lid. Both are going to have the rear backup camera, the trunk release, and that black button right there. You do get the rear parking sensors out back. Similar design in terms of the rear bumper, some satin black trim, the pretty aggressive rear diffuser, I have to say, for a standard Elantra, with the nice gunmetal gray that wraps across the entire width. And then coming over here to the Blue Hybrid, same gunmetal gray trim, a little bit of a difference in terms of the texture of that satin black. So this is going to be more of a textured surface versus the smooth finish over there on the Limited. So that, again, is a little bit hard to distinguish until you see these side by side on the lot. But you will get the full incandescent lighting here with your brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights. And I don't believe this has the LED plus bulbs tail lamps. So you do not get the strip that runs across the entire deck lid that will illuminate when the headlamps are on. And you do get a slightly different Blue Hybrid badge on the right side of the trunk lid, just to signify that this is the Blue Hybrid versus that of the Limited Hybrid. Oh, and one other small difference that you can see on the exterior is that the Limited Hybrid will get the single power sunroof versus that of the Blue Hybrid will just have the regular body color steel roof option. Now I want to jump into the interiors on both of these two vehicles, starting out here with the Blue Hybrid. Like I mentioned, this one has the black cloth interior option, but gray is going to be available as well, again, depending on the exterior color. Starting out here on the door panel, they're going to be very similar, just some material differences when you go to the Limited. So you have a hard touch plastic up top, a rubberized kind of a hard plastic with faux stitching. So this is kind of a hard touch material as well, just a slightly different texture. And then you do get a slightly padded soft touch armrest down here. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver's side window only. Nice silver accented speaker up there with the standard 6-speaker audio system, so you do not get the Bose or anything like that. It appears this one might have an additional accessory for the stainless door sill plate. That actually looks very nice. And there you'll find the 6-way manual adjustment driver's seat with height adjustment, the black cloth interior with the nice accent stripe in the middle backrest. And then there's a look at the dashboard. Now here on the inside of the Blue Hybrid, this is going to be very similar to that of the gasoline-powered SEL, which I do have a dedicated video here on the channel checking that out if you want to see a little bit more detail. But in front of the driver, you can find dual 10.25-inch screens in both of these two Elantras with dedicated hybrid pages and menus. You can see there is the dedicated hybrid tachometer or power gauge on the right side with your speedometer on the left. This is controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel. So cycling through some of the pages, you have safety systems, TPMS, trip information, fuel economy, navigation, etc. It really is a nice infotainment gauge cluster. Now, one of the key differences is a urethane wrap steering wheel, so kind of the hard plasticky type versus that of a leather wrap wheel in the Limited. Audio multimedia, cruise control. This does not have adaptive cruise control, but it does have lane follow assist and some of Hyundai's other safety and driver assistance technologies. Automatic headlights, auto high beam assist as standard equipment. There's your regular wiper stalk. To the left of the steering wheel, you have your 12-volt battery reset, gauge dimming, as well as traction control off. Now, a lot of people do wonder what the 12-volt battery reset button does. And essentially, if Hyundai or the car detects that there's excessive 12-volt battery drain, it will disconnect it from the high voltage system. And this button essentially reconnects it so you can start the vehicle and be on your way and hopefully never find a 12-volt battery that is dead inside one of these vehicles. But that essentially is what that button does in a nutshell. Now, across the dashboard, you have some of these hard touch textured plastics. Over here, you have the 10.25-inch infotainment system. It does contain built-in navigation via this map button right here. So unfortunately, that means only wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but you do have the dedicated hybrid menus, which you can see some of your fuel economy, electric motor use, and where the energy is currently flowing. This is the older UI, not found on some of the new next generation vehicles, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but it does have Blue Link, which you can control via the smartphone, and it does contain Blue Link Plus, which is free for the lifetime of the first owner, which is a great benefit for buying a 2024 model year. Dual zone automatic climate control, all of your hard touch shortcut buttons down there. It does not have heated or ventilated seats. That is something you'll find over there in the Limited once we get to that vehicle. You have your plasticky kind of shift knob here. No wireless charging pad, but you do have USB-C charging as well as a USB-A port for the data and everything into the infotainment system. Drive mode select, backup camera, electronic parking brake, automatic vehicle hold. There you can see the drive modes. It has Eco, Sport, and Smart drive modes, which does change the theme of the gauge cluster. That is very, very cool. Gloss black here around the center cup holders. You can see they are large and pretty deep in size, and there's the standard proximity key fob with built-in remote start here on the key fob itself. Additional storage space, padded armrest. Up top, you do get the lighter gray headliner, vanity illumination, manual dimming interior rearview mirror, overhead incandescent lighting, Blue Link SOS airbag. No power sunroof in this particular vehicle, like I mentioned, that is going to be found over there in the Limited. So essentially you're going to find many material differences across the dashboard and of course the seating surfaces here in the Blue Hybrid. So take a look on the interior of the Limited Hybrid. Like I mentioned, this one has the gray H-Tex leatherette on the inside, but black is going to be available as well. Starting out here on the door panel, immediately you'll see some of the material differences here that are much nicer versus that of the Blue Hybrid. Up top, you still have the same hard touch plastics, but the insert is going to be a much nicer cloth soft touch material with accent stitching. The armrest portion here on the driver's side is going to match the lighter gray, but over there on the passenger side, you can see the entire door panel in and of itself is black. So it does have a different front door panel design. You have power windows, mirrors, and locks with the same automatic driver's side window. You will find the Bose 8-speaker premium audio system in the Limited, as well as the driver memory seat controls up here next to the tweeter. So this is a Limited Hybrid exclusive feature not found in any gasoline-powered Elantra. So one of the reasons I really do like the Limited Hybrid. Now coming to the driver's seat, this is going to be the power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar. And there is the gray H-Tex leatherette, which is a new material used for 2024, as prior it did have genuine leather seating surfaces. So immediately here on the interior of the Limited Hybrid, you're gonna find a much nicer interior just by some of the materials that they use throughout the cabin. Now in front of the driver, like I mentioned, you're gonna find both the 10¼ inch dual infotainment as well as digital gauge cluster. These really aren't that different in overall functionality and design. Actually, I believe they are quite similar, as both these vehicles do have built-in navigation and can have a lot of the same safety systems, although you do have smart cruise control with highway drive assist here in this Limited, indicated by this radar or distance button on the right side of the steering wheel, as well as some of the safety systems here on the infotainment screen. Now you find the leather wrap steering wheel, which is a very nice premium material, feels nicer than that urethane wrap. Still have the same audio multimedia. Like I said, it does have adaptive cruise control with highway drive assist on the bottom. Nice stainless steel Hyundai logo. That is going to be the same between them. Automatic headlights, auto high beam assist. Does not have rain sensing wipers either. Left of the steering wheel, you're going to have all the same buttons, including the 12-volt battery reset, gauge dimming, and traction control off. Looks like materials across the dashboard are going to be the same textured material, which is nice. And then coming over here to the infotainment head unit, still have the dedicated hybrid pages, which are going to be the same. It has the split screen functionality, built-in maps, which again means wired Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth inputs, etc. There's all of your physical buttons below that. Like I said, this one has the lighter gray interior, so some of these plastics will change with the interior option that you do get. One big thing that I do want to mention is the heated and ventilated front seats here in this one. This is the only way to get an Elantra with ventilated front seats. You have to get the Limited Hybrid, as this is not offered on the standard gasoline powered Limited. Same dual zone automatic climate control. However, you do get the wireless charging pad down here with the Hyundai Digital Key. This is a revision that Hyundai did make, so it does support Hyundai Digital Key 2.0, which includes Apple and Android compatible devices. Drive mode select is still found here with Eco, Sport, and Smart drive modes. Do have the button to turn the front and rear parking sensors on off, which is an addition of the Limited, as well as the automatic vehicle hold, electronic parking brake, all that down here, which is going to be very similar. Now it looks like the cup holder layout is going to be identical as well. Same proximity key fob with built-in remote start. Good amount of storage behind the center console. Nice soft touch material that matches the lighter gray interior option that this one has. Up top, it looks like you have the same light gray headliner, vanity illumination. You do get the auto dimming interior rearview mirror, no garage home link, unfortunately. incandescent overhead lighting, Blue Link SOS, passenger airbag, and there is the controls for the power sunroof that you do get going to the Limited over that of that Blue Hybrid. If you do push it one more time, it will retract just another inch or two, which makes it a little bit bigger of an opening overall. But that's going to be a look at the front of the Elantra. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the back of this particular one because there are going to be more material differences back there. Now take a look at the back of the Elantra Limited Hybrid. Now I want to showcase the back seat because this is going to be essentially the same size between each of these two. But in terms of materials, starting out here on the door panel, you will get the nicer cloth insert on this one that you will not find in the Blue Hybrid, although the armrests and all of the other materials are going to be the same hard touch plastics. There's the H-Tex leatherette seating surfaces throughout the cabin. Very, very nice material. Stepping inside, the height is going to be a little bit of a duck just for the roof line and the lower ride height. But there is a look at the front dashboard here in the Limited. And out back in both these vehicles, you will get USB-C charging, which is new and standard across every 2024 Elantra. No AC vents or anything like that, but you can see with these nicer leatherette wrap seats, you do get these same materials that are found on the door panel. Here on the back half of the seat, really nice contrast and two-tone effect, well, really three tones going on here with the black plastics. You do get the passenger map net on the Limited that you won't find over there on the Blue. 60/40 split folding seats with center armrests and two cup holders. You have the nice black seat belts to contrast the interior as well. And the overall amount of room that you'll find in these vehicles is quite good for a compact sedan with at least, 4 or 5 inches behind my driving position. A good amount of footroom, although it is a little bit on the tighter side of things. And then headroom really isn't going to be an issue either with, about an inch or two of headroom to spare depending on your height and stuff like that. So really the back seat isn't that uncomfortable, but it would be nice to see rear AC vents as an added amenity. Now take a look at trunk space and car capacity. Again, both these two are going to be identical in that regard. You do have the smart trunk with the proximity key fob on both of these two. There's some additional accessories inside of this one. The only difference here from the back is going to be the subwoofer for the Bose premium audio system is found in the deck lid up there. Both are going to have an incandescent light up top. And then you do have the 60/40 split folding seats in this one, which you pull these tabs on either side. And then you do have the 60/40 split. We're over there in the Blue Hybrid. That is going to be the single folding bench seat. So go ahead and demonstrate that very quickly. And the entire seat back will fold down, which I guess I can just show you guys really quick. As you can see, the entire seat back will fold down, which essentially eliminates the ability to use the rear seat at all. We're over there, at least you can use one side or the other depending on which type of object you are hauling. So a little bit of a bummer that you have to get a Limited for that or an SEL convenience package in a gas one. But like I said, all the materials and stuff are going to be somewhat similar in the back. Your seats are fully cloth in this one because that's just the material they use. USB-C charging down there, no AC vents or anything, and you do not get the center armrest as well with the bench folding seat. You have to get the 60/40 split folding design just to get that. Now in terms of the passenger side of the vehicle, there's really not going to be much to report as both these two unfortunately do not have 6-way or height adjustment passenger seat. They're just a 4-way design. You can see no height adjustment here on the Limited Hybrid, but there's a better look at the dashboard design. You have the small pocket to the side of the center console. No damped glove box, no LED illumination inside. Now taking a look under the hood, you will find the same exact powertrain under each of these two models, and that's the 1.6 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder paired to an electric motor, of course, a small battery pack. Now this is hooked up to a 6-speed EcoShift dual clutch transmission, which is a fairly unique transmission. You don't see it across Hyundai's models much anymore, except here in the Elantra Hybrid. And overall efficiency is going to be very, very good in terms of fuel economy, as the Blue Hybrid is rated over 50 mpg in both the city and highway environments, where the Limited Hybrid is rated up to 52 mpg out on the highway and 49 mpg in the city. But I would not be surprised to see, mid 50 mpg figures in combined style of driving from either of these two Elantras, given the standard gasoline powered Elantra does very, very good and oftentimes gets above the manufacturer rating. Okay, so now that you know a little bit more about each of these two trim levels, let's dive into some of the numbers in terms of pricing, not only for the 2024 model year, but the 2023 as well, because that certainly comes into play into why I think this one that I'm currently sitting in is a substantially better value than that one over there. So like I mentioned, 2024 pricing is out. The limited comes in at $30,600 and the blue is $27,400, again, including destination. Now, the blue represents a $1,735 increase over a 2023 Blue Hybrid, and the limited represents just a $335 increase over an equivalent 2023. Now, granted, the Blue Hybrid did get a few more features that were not found in the 2023 model, such as the LED projector headlights, the USB rear charging, and a couple other things as well, where the limited goes relatively unchanged in terms of its total packaging. It still had the heated and ventilated seats before, the LED projector headlights, etc., as it did come fully loaded in the Elantra lineup. Now, when you look at the pricing differential between each of these two Elantras seen in today's video, it comes in at $3,200. Now, that does not include any additional accessories or extra cost paint colors, so do keep that in mind. These two vary a little bit more than that, but if you look at the standard MSRP, which is the best way to compare them, $3,200 in difference. Now, when you look at the gasoline counterpart between each of these two, there's going to be a $300 more price difference, opting for the Blue Hybrid over the standard SEL versus the limited gas to the limited hybrid, if that makes sense. So you are paying a slight more premium opting for the Blue Hybrid when compared to the gas SEL versus the gas limited to the hybrid limited, which I am currently sitting in. Now, that does not factor in any of the additional features that you're getting here going to the limited hybrid over that of the gasoline hybrid, such as the ventilated front seats and the memory driver seat here on the door panel. You actually are not getting any additional accessories or options opting for the Blue Hybrid over the gas SEL. So hopefully all that makes sense, but you are getting additional features here in the hybrid limited over that of the standard gas limited. Now, at this point, you're probably getting my gist of which one I believe is a better value in terms of the Elantra lineup, and that is the limited hybrid that I'm currently sitting in. When you factor in the pricing that it increased over the 2023s, you factor in the gasoline-powered internal combustion Elantra pricing, and all of that combined, I think the limited hybrid is certainly the way to go, given the addition of ventilated front seats, the memory driver seat, and the roughly $3,200 price difference between a Blue Hybrid for 2024 and this one that I'm currently sitting in. Now, when you look at the compact sedan market in general, the Elantra comes in very, very well equipped, near the top of the class. It might not be class leading every metric in terms of the features and options that it has to offer, especially because this limited hybrid does not have the 360 surround view camera system versus that of the gas limited. But outside of that, I think it comes extremely well equipped, and it is a very impressive feat to get, ventilated front seats here in this class for under $31,000, including destination. I think that is very, very awesome, and this continues to be a very good bang for the buck if you're looking for a compact sedan. Now, with that said, even though I believe the limited hybrid is the way to go over the Blue Hybrid, if you're looking for a more basic vehicle, kind of run-of-the-mill, if you will, with average equipment and features for most of the other vehicles currently on the market, the Blue Hybrid still represents a good value, as do most Hyundai models that are currently offered on the market. It just doesn't appeal to me as being a better bang for the buck when compared to this vehicle. For about 12% more money, you're getting like 40% more of the options and features found in the Elantra here in the limited version. But again, that's a very good value, very good solid option for a more basic vehicle, with cloth seats, the standard proximity entry. You still get the LED projector headlights, navigation, etc. over there. But I think this one is certainly the way to go and the one I would choose if I was in the market for an Elantra Hybrid. So I think that's going to do it here for this video on the 2024 Elantra Blue Hybrid versus that of the limited hybrid. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel in these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to check out some other 2024 Elantra and Hyundai content I have here on the channel. I have a ton of videos both on the gasoline and now the hybrid versions here with this one. Let me know what you guys think versus this comparison. Would you take the Blue Hybrid or the limited hybrid that I'm currently sitting in, and why? Always interested to hear which vehicles that people think is the better value in the lineup. I think this one is fairly well justified, given all the pricing information that I gave. I went through this and looked at the exact spec sheets very, thoroughly, and I know the Elantra lineup pretty much inside and out. And I think for under $31,000, including destination, I think the limited hybrid certainly is the way to go, and that is not factoring in any additional dealer or Hyundai incentives that are currently offered. So very likely you can get this limited hybrid that I'm currently sitting in for under $30,000 with all the discounts and incentives that currently are available on the market. which I think makes it a very good value across the entire compact sedan segment. But you guys can be the judge and let me know your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate the support you guys watching these videos and hope to see you guys in the next one.